Well, good evening everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of Nathbet.com. It is week 2 after a difficult and slightly disappointing week 1. I think not just for me but for plenty of tipsters around the country. Very difficult to see that early form, and so it proved in our tipping. And like I say, I think very few of you took away big profit margins going into week 1 with some crazy results. I think we're back to normal on week 2. I do like plenty of tips. Sorry these are coming out a bit late. I know it's Thursday night, but we did put the actual tips on the site on Wednesday, so you got those early prices. I was at the eBoy yesterday, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for me and unfortunately for the bookies. But yeah, we got some nice results, so to speak. But I think I've got plenty of nice results for you tonight as well. If you haven't seen them already, I will just do a brief run of what we've tipped and a little bit of explanation. And like I said, just get those bets on as soon as possible. First of all, the double this week is Southampton, a Premier League double. Southampton against West Brom. We're going to back Southampton to win this game at 10-11. Very impressed with Southampton at the weekend against Liverpool. I thought they held themselves. They were in the game right the way through the 90 minutes, and I think they were very lucky to not come away with a point, if not more. Ronald Koeman had. They're very well organised, and like I say, just watching the game back the whole 90 minutes, I thought they impressed me. I thought they were going to struggle big time. Obviously, they've lost a lot of players, but you know, I'm very pleased with what I saw. I do think that the visit of West Brom shouldn't hold any problems whatsoever. West Brom had a 2-2 so-so draw at home against Sunderland. Obviously, they're still struggling at the back, and I think that the likes of Tadic, who looks very, very impressive, could take full advantage of that. So we're going to take Southampton to beat West Brom, the first bet in the double at 10-11. Double them up with Swansea City. Shock. Win at Old Trafford. Or was it a shock? Well, it was for us because obviously we tipped Manchester United, but again, Gary Monk's side, another one of them who surprised me. Sigurdsson looks a fantastic buy. Obviously gone back to his old club, and I think that him, obviously Wilfred Bonney, didn't really feature in that game. I think he will feature heavily in this one as they entertain Burnley. Sean Dyche's side, obviously, on the end of a 3-1 loss yesterday to go ahead against Chelsea on Monday night. But I'm sure plenty of you took advantage of them. Chelsea -1 as they won 3-1. That was 11-10, so good job on that one. And I do think that Burnley could be the whipping boys this season. I know they had that brief moment of sheer delight, but I think that'll be few and far between going into the end, middle to the end of this season. I think Swansea, especially like I say, with Wilfred Bonney hungry for his first goal, I think he will get it, and I think they will win this one comfortably. So they're available at 4-6 at the moment. Might be a little bit bigger last night, but at this present moment, 4-6. Southampton and Swansea gives us a 3.1-1 double. Very nice if you can get it on board, and that's best price with Bet Victor. Okay, and with the treble, 2 handicaps on this bet. I did briefly mention the handicaps last week, -1, which means that you can get it on any kind of betting side, which means basically that we want the teams to win by 2 goals or more. We're going to go with Chelsea -1 against Leicester to kick off the treble. Like I say, apart from that goal they conceded, Chelsea were very, very impressive, didn't they, up front, midfield and defensively. They've got goals from everywhere. They're strong. I do like Chelsea against Leicester on this occasion. Leicester obviously didn't do themselves any disgrace against Everton, 2-2 draw, and I think they'll be absolutely fine this season. But I do like Chelsea, first game of the season at home against at Stamford Bridge. I think they'll look to make a bit of a statement. I think that Chelsea will run out 2-0 winners on this occasion. So Chelsea -1 against Leicester, 8-11 is that price. And another team that have struggled early on, and surprisingly so, although they have had a few difficult fixtures, Wigan. They entertain Blackpool. I fancy Wigan to get back to winning ways and in style. And they're definitely not the type of team that's only got 1 point from the first 3 games. I do think that Wigan -1 against Blackpool is a very good price. So Wigan -1 against Blackpool, 6-5. Please get on that. I do like that price a lot. Chelsea -1, Wigan -1, and finish off with Preston North End to beat Oldham in League One. Preston in a fantastic run of form. 4-0 winners away at Scunthorpe, 1-1 away at Doncaster, which isn't a bad result at all. Doncaster are going to be up and there or thereabouts come the end of the season. Oldham still searching for their first win of the season. Disappointing, 2 draws, 2 losses, conceded 9 goals. Last thing they want to be doing is going to Preston and trying to get a result. So that's why I think that Preston will come out on top on this occasion. Straight up, no handicap, just Preston to beat Oldham. Along with Chelsea -1, Wigan -1 gives us a treble of... Where's the treble? 5-1 treble. Sorry about that. 5-1 treble. That is with Sky Bet. On with the fourfold. Middlesbrough against Sheffield United. Middlesbrough started great. 2-1 win at Bolton as well in midweek. Kike looks very, very strong. Sheffield United is still searching for their first points of the season. They've had a bit of a nightmare. And Borough's so strong at home. Even last season it was their away form that let them down. So I do think that Middlesbrough will keep their good run of form going. 10-11 about Middlesbrough to beat Sheffield United. Take them. Along with Leyton Orient in League One, very strong, and Walsall struggling big time. They're still to find their third gear really, and they're looking for their first win of the season again. Similar to Oldham, 2 draws and 2 losses for their first 4 games of the season. Leyton Orient, very, very difficult place to go. Very strong at home. I'm going to tip Leyton Orient at even money to beat Walsall. Okay, Sunderland against Manchester United. Is the next one on the list. Now, I'm going to go with United on this occasion. I'm not going to desert them straight after one game. Yes, they were poor and disappointing, weren't they? But I do think with the return of RVP, and yes, he will be back, even if he was going to be on the bench this week after a nice easy win against Swansea, well, obviously you know what happened then. So I think that RVP will be straight back into action with Rooney up front. Obviously defensively they're going to have to improve, but I don't particularly like Sunderland as an offensive unit. I think that also they're looking for one more striker. Fletcher doesn't really interest me, and I think they're trying to get obviously a couple in from Liverpool depending on the Balotelli deal. But they haven't as of yet, and they're not going to rely on Lee Catamore scoring 25-yard shots every single week. So I do think that Manchester United will get points on the board. They will win, and we're going to back Manchester United to beat Sunderland at 8-11. Finish that off with the champions, Manchester City against Liverpool. We're going to back Manchester City on this occasion. I said Balotelli could be there. They could have signed him by then, but it definitely won't be available for that game. Manchester City, on the other hand, excellent win at Newcastle 2-0. And they're just looking very strong. They're just technically sound and obviously a massive unit, aren't they? Huge right away from front to back. I do think there will be too much for Liverpool, who, like I say, didn't look particularly strong at home to Southampton. I think that City at home, no problem there. So they're available, very nice price, just under evens, 20-23, Manchester City. Middlesbrough, Leyton Orient, Manchester United and Manchester City make up the fourfold. 11-1 fourfold, guys, with Bet Victor. Remember, hashtag Nathbet Longshot will get you into the hat, and if we do publicise your tips, your long shot, you'll also get a £5 free bet, absolutely free, no risk, and we will put that on your long shot for you. And please retweet week 2 tips, everyone, to be in with a chance of winning a £10 bet of your choosing on the double, treble and fourfold. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Make sure you win plenty of money. Remember, double, treble and fourfold, get those bets on, and we will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye bye.